It's crazy to think that the year is almost over, that we've blinked, and the Women's Forum is celebrating at the end of this year, wrapping up our fifth year. You know, Barbara, did you ever imagine back in May of 2015 that 5 years later we'd be reaching, almost 4,000 women, but now even more?
No, I think we plowed into this not knowing where it was going. I mean, we had confidence that we had something, this authentic community concept of supporting women holistically, personally, professionally, and financially, and help us be empowered to live fulfilled lives. And I just love, as much as we've evolved our forum, we've stayed true to that mission even throughout this year too.
Hosting these programs is like landing a jet plane. You want to be mindful of their time. Women, especially today, have so many programs and so many virtual events to choose from, and that we always want to deliver an amazing experience, great content, inspiring speakers. And, I've heard a number of times from women that we help them to really own their confidence and own their voices and own their power.
My intention for today is that each one of you are able to make breakthroughs with a challenge that to date has just had you stuck.
Let's make this a conversation about building your board of directors.
Before you use your voice, you have to kind of have something that either stirs you up or you have a belief.
If she's telling a story versus sharing information, that she brings more clarity, more passion, and increases collaboration.
What is one of your most memorable moments from the last 5 years?
Wow, that's a tall order, Nancy. It's been nice to really help support these women. And one of the women who presented on Zoom for us on one of our Women's Forum programs, she was asked by one of the attendees to present at their national conference.
Reminds me of a conversation I recently had with an energy executive down here who's been with a company for about 20 years. And, she's looking to take that next step in her career. And we've had a couple conversations, and Barbara, as you know, one of our favorite terms at the Women's Forum is, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. She wanted to reach out to one of the female leaders, top executives at her company. I said, why did you ask permission? Just call her up. She's a colleague of yours. Call her up. And I think one of the things that we help women really overcome is taking that step of realizing that you don't need permission, that it is simply a question. And if the answer is no at the time, that's okay. It might be no right now, but let's meet in a month.
Nancy, that reminds me of especially on asking for more money and negotiating compensation,
Yes.
which was a really, really wonderful program. And I was inspired from that and coached a couple of women who were just two different women who were negotiating compensation right at that same time. And I talked through strategies with them. I was so excited that I could actually take the learning from those strategies from the Women's Forum event and help these women own their power and confidence, be more confident to ask for the money they deserved in their compensation.
This was the theme of our program, is that it's more than money. That before you go into a negotiation, reflect on what do you need to have that harmony in your life. The money is important. We need to be paid what we are worth, for sure. But what else will create harmony in your life? What else will help you succeed? Let's transition a little bit and talk about what's on the horizon for 2021 for the Women's Forum.
We're really focused on being our courageous selves in 2021, because we know that some of these challenges that hit us in 2020 are still going to be with us, quite honestly. I think for the Women's Forum, what's super important, though, is we've had wonderful programs, But staying in community with 40 to 60 women has limited networking opportunities. And so we really want to get back to one of those core values of what our women enjoy from our gatherings. And so we'll find ways, we've used a breakout room experience once on Zoom. We'll do it some more and find other creative ways to get into smaller groups and conversation.
Yeah, and I know that we're also committed to helping to facilitate more networking and encouraging women to, engage with us as well and participate in the Women's Forum. So we would encourage you that if there are any topics that are relevant and meaningful to you and the women in your network or your circle, feel free to reach out to either Barbara and I or I. We would love to hear your ideas and your insights and, what's inspiring you going into the new year, and see if we could work it into a program next year. I know we're going to kick off the year in 2021 with a little bit more of self-care. We're all coming out of a busy holiday season. The election still, we imagine, will be, dealing with the pandemic. So we think it's really important for us to continue to, as we care for everybody else in the world, and in our communities and our families, that we continue to fill our own cup.
I'm just grateful for the generosity of others, especially the women in our Women's Forum community. The presenters for offering their time and talents to inspire and inform our audience. And then our women that stay in community and that are so connected and generous with their connections. We're all opening our networks to one another. But honestly, and importantly, our firm's commitment to the Women's Forum.
So we extend our best wishes to you and to your families and your colleagues and your teams. We hope you'll join us for the remaining 2 events, and that you all stay healthy, safe, and strong, and keep the faith.